wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Solitus tuo, usuncarum, ungularum, delectatque contremescit me. Intro.
If our dicks got in a fight, who do you think yours would win? Actually,
his is battle tested.
His
has gone head to head with so many more dicks than yours.
You don't know how right you are.
Yeah, see, I didn't even finish that, and I was like, oh, my dick would get his ass kicked. My dick would get its ass kicked.
Hey, it's 13th and Elm once again. Back on a Friday doing the damn thing. You know how it goes. I'm sitting here, Rob, Bill. We just had dinner. We're gonna talk about a movie. We're gonna watch a movie. And we're gonna do it all over again next week. So buckle up.
Right.
Woo. And you can tell the excitement is palpable this week because we watched David Cronenberg's 1979 cult classic psychological body horror, other adjectives, The Brood, which first time any of us had seen this one. There's actually quite a bit to get into about this. It was... we haven't talked about it yet, but I get the feeling we're kind of all coming from the same place on our opinion of this movie, but let's just tear into it. The plot is loosely structured around a deteriorating or probably already deteriorated marriage, a husband and a wife who are split and have a child together. The wife is at some sort of like psychiatric retreat, like alternative medicine type of experimental hospital, which is really just like a cabin in the woods, called Soma Free. It's ran by the psychotherapist Hal Raglan, who uses some unconventional techniques to, get to the source of trauma and to try to aid in its recovery. We'll get more into it as we go along, but that's kind of the backdrop. The husband lives obviously in a home, has a job, takes care of the child, and he's not at the retreat, and he's isolated from her. He's not like allowed to visit her or see her. And Bill's really enjoying the fact that I mentioned that he lives in a home. Go ahead and chime in there, Bill.
No, I'm good. I just like that line. He lives obviously in a home.
Where else? First assumption is a houseboat.
Yeah, well, our script writer is on vacation for
alopecia.
Id. It's Id. Alopecia? I thought it's Id right now, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't actually know when Id al-Fatir is, but I think around now, right? Because he's like a suckling lamb.
I don't think that they're suckling after death, but they take it from the teat, is my understanding. They pull that bitch right off the fucking teat, and they slaughter it up. And usually, like in the street, like it's like a group activity.
What would you call such an animal?
Dinner, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, don't just go killing fucking lambs unless you're gonna eat them.
Why didn't we get any lamb tonight?
Well, because I didn't make fucking lamb me, I made banh mi, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
It was really good.
You're welcome, I think is what you were trying to get out of me. So there you go. You're welcome. Back to the movie.
So, psychoplasmics. What do you guys think of that?
Oh, God.
The term.
The technique of Hal Raglan, psychoplasmics. Yeah. It's kind of sexy. It sounds like, but it turns out to just be a bunch of shit.
It's kind of like a great analogy for this movie in that I didn't care what it was when I first heard it, and hearing it more didn't make me care any more about it. And then by the time you get to see what it is, you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, they don't talk a whole lot about what it is, but it's like therapy through rage, pretty much, or is how it's presented to at the beginning.
It's kind of like a role playing technique too, to like unlock like suppressed memories and trauma.
Yeah,
right?
like we get that first scene of the doctor doing like a demonstration, and I thought
It was a play.
I did think that.
I
Yes.
thought it was fucking theater.
I thought they were doing a theater. I
I
didn't even
thought
know that
he was
like,
under hypnosis at first.
okay.
Is like
I could see
because
that.
I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't know anything about
Yeah.
this movie, and we don't know anything about psychoplasmics at this point,
Or really at the end.
Yeah.
or at any point.
You could kind of like glean what it is.
But you know what I mean? Like, did it
Yeah.
feel like that?
No, it
Or
did.
was that just me?
No,
I thought it was a guy under hypnosis.
I didn't think it was hypnosis. I thought it was a play because it was like they were like on a stage with an audience and they
Under
were like
lights,
under
like-
a spotlight. It was just two people. I thought it was like a one act play, and they're wearing like weird, I don't know, Jedi scrubs or whatever it is that you wear.
Jedi scrubs.
That are
It was
taupe, I guess.
kind of strange, but for whatever reason, I was like, yeah, this is just like a classroom demonstration.
Right.
Well,
But I can definitely see how it was like
Well-
presented like a play.
When he like pulls his shirt off, he's like, "This is what you do to me, Daddy." I thought
That was
those.
gross.
I thought those were like cigar burns.
That's
at
what it looked.
first. So I thought he was
That's
like
what I thought, too.
self-harming, and then later you find out that they're like little growths, and that's what the psychoplasmics does. It's like you funnel your emotions, and it causes physiological manifestations on you.
Yeah.
Which then ties into the finale, which we'll get to.
And
Yeah,
that
it's like
shit was-
like lymphoma, like I think.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
wheels, I believe.
Wheels, yeah.
And you know how I am with that kind of shit, so I enjoyed that while hating it at the same time because it was gross. And he was like touching them and stuff.
Yeah. Also, that guy,
Open sores.
the like curly-haired redhead Mike or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like the best actor in the whole movie, I think.
I thought Nola was really good.
Nola was.
actually.
Honestly, I think there's only 3 good actors in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't think Noah was great, but
I thought Nola was pretty good. The doctor was pretty good, and Michael was pretty good. But like overall, the acting was pretty poor, in my opinion. Like the main character, and like his name is escaping me.
because he's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's his name, Michael? The main guy?
The
father?
Frank.
Yeah,
like
Frank.
the character or the actor.
No, the character.
Yeah, Frank.
Like that was not a good performance.
No, he doesn't really emote ever. Even
No.
like when his mother-in-law is murdered, then his
Dude,
father-in-law is
I'm
murdered.
always under like fuck, no, I can't think of the right word now. But under reactions in horror movies is like a big pet peeve for me. So
Just
yeah,
like no
that-
selling the
Yeah.
fucking freak accidents or occurrences or traumas.
yeah. So like when he was just like calm as a cucumber in the police station after his mother-in-law was brutally murdered and his daughter could have been too and like,
Yeah, and she's like,
witnessed it.
"Where is she?" Well,
possibly.
like we felt like we needed to talk to her and have her visit with the doctor, and he's like, "Well, can I see her?" And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You're flipping shit, dude. Like your daughter was at the scene of a murder, which happened to be your ex-wife or like your whatever partner's
Psychiatrists, yeah.
fucking
And like
mother."
they seem to have a good relationship too, right? Him and his mother-in-law. Like
Yeah,
it didn't
they seemed to get along. She was
yeah.
like a drunk, but yeah.
yeah, it was weird. She was like would be watching Candy, the daughter, and just slugging like bourbon the whole time.
That and like slinging it back, and yeah, she was interesting.
Man,
I also liked Barton Kelly, the father-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of playing like a stereotypical like I don't know drunk ex-husband or whatever, but
yeah,
he was good. He's also a pretty good performance, I thought.
yeah. He didn't have the biggest role, but yeah, I forgot about that guy actually.
But yeah, they scream about psychoplasmics for like the first hour of this movie, and you're like,
What the fuck
Who
is
cares? Yeah, what is it?
First 30 minutes intriguing. Second 30 minutes is kind of a repeat of the first 30 minutes without the intrigue, and it got quite boring for me, actually.
It dragged for a
But
bit.
what I
for
would
sure.
say is being newly acquainted with Cronenberg, all of his movies seem to be like 75 to 95 minutes long, and they all seem to be heavily reliant on that third act. Like they're
they
chaos in the third act. So like right around the point of this movie where I was like, I don't think I could be any more bored. I was like right back into it and very much curious and entertained and getting what I wanted, but I just felt like I was being, there's like an edge of no return. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I feel like
I like the edge to no return.
yeah. I feel like it's fun for a long time until it's fucking not. And then it's like
It's ruined.
it's almost like a second go. It wasn't even like you didn't even capitalize on the anticipation. You just kind of fucking gave me a whole new 30-minute subplot that was fine. It's
Yeah.
pretty good, but I have such a sour taste in my mouth that I'm not going to enjoy it. Because we'll get there, but like the last 30 minutes of this movie gave me so much of what I wanted. The movie does come off as like a low budget and some of the acting's not great, and it's like Canadian production in the 70s. Their film industry was maybe not quite as polished as like Hollywood movies of the same era,
Right.
but everything here was really solid. If it was like a book or a comic or something where like the theater of the mind could maybe take away from it, because like some of the things that were supposed to be intriguing early on in the movie just kind of came off as like cheesy or like not very engrossing. And then by the time you get to the end of the movie, and like I said, we'll get there, but spoiler alert, you know, you got kids are getting fucking shot. You got body horror. There's like the plot reveal of like the manifestation of trauma from the ex-wife's like repressed memories coming to like a head with the sources of those memories and taking them out violently. It was like all fucking badass. Like I like the theme here quite a bit. I think Cronenberg did do what he wanted to do, which was kind of write an emotional horror about his own failed marriage and kind of like the fears of parenthood and things of that nature, like manifesting the toxic like maternity, you know what I mean? Like you give birth to your greatest fears, which is kind of like what The Brood is. All that's fucking cool, but fuck, I was bored getting there. And by the time we got there, I was just like,
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done a whole lot of Cronenberg, but yeah, it does. I was going to bring up, it does kind of seem like the pacing is going to be the same, as in just like lots of build up, which is so far hasn't been the best. Like I
it's
remember
good when you
like,
care about the characters because then you're invested when they go. But like we said, the characters in this were kind of forgettable and the performances weren't fucking great. So it's like when I'm 40 minutes in and I don't fucking care, I'm just suffering for another 20 minutes before
like,
anything happens. And then I'm just happy it's happening. I don't get that emotional response that I feel like he's trying to elicit because I don't care about the characters.
Yeah, because they're so poorly acted is definitely one reason. But and they weren't very interesting either. Like Frank's not really like an interesting dude, but like compared to The Fly, like the pacing, the build up, which one was more entertaining? The Fly, right? I feel like, and
yes.
I mean,
As far as pacing,
like as far as like caring about the characters in the first two acts,
well,
and
characters
that's
are better and they're
mostly
also
be Jeff
much,
Goldblum,
yeah,
right?
They're and Gina Davis, like it's
Way
much
better
better
acted.
acted.
And also, it's like kind of a love story movie. It's like a cute rom-com-y kind of feel with The Fly for the first little
For
bit.
a while.
And I mean, this movie has a lot to do with relationships as well. I mean, it's definitely not as romantic, but he definitely is showing that like Cronenberg likes to have complicated relationships between his characters, and even like the scenes with Nola and the fucking doctor like seem very intimate and like almost sexual at times, and like they all call him daddy.
There
or
was
like they're all like
so much daddy mommy talking.
lots of daddy.
Yeah,
But like a lot of times he's like actually portraying like their fathers or their mothers though too. You know what I mean? It's like the whole bit.
The therapy stuff. I thought it was hokey. I didn't really like what's his name, Oliver Reed. I thought he had like a weird like performer voice that was put on. I know that like not an accent, like he's from England, but just like his cadence and everything.
He's very whispery kind of.
It's like his whole bit is like, no, you can't do that because it's a critical time in her therapy and I can't allow it. That's like that was like half of his
said
lines
that
is him
like
saying
10 times.
that, and also saying psychoplasmics will change the world. He was well dressed. A lot of this movie, a lot of good costume.
Yeah, Frank was always dressed well.
Frank was always dressed in a toggle coat. Frank was wearing a fucking duffel coat, a wool coat.
It had to be hot.
All of this movie, even up to the point where his father-in-law dies and bleeds all over it on the shoulders, and he still wears it through the rest of the movie.
It's a nice coat.
He's indoors for a lot of it.
You don't take off a coat just because you get a little blood on it.
Well, you don't, because he's running around dropping his kid off at various family members' places, and then, like, I guess he's an architect because he, like, goes to one of the houses he's building and gets a phone call there or something.
Yeah, that was like a very weird kind of trying to show us what Frank does for a living, but it still wasn't clear. He just walked onto a construction site, took a phone call about a family member dying, and then left.
The Johnsons think that's going to be done by September.
I was like, is he an architect, just like a foreman, like
contractor? Yeah, who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, not like that was so unnecessary. Like that just existed for him to get that phone call.
Yeah, he looked like I don't know. He looked like if Peter Dinklage and Brad Pitt are like mixed together.
That's so fucking hot to me.
And
Frank?
Frank.
Oh, for some reason I was thinking a doctor, and I was like, what the fuck?
Was,
I think he looks like Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty much what Rob just said, I think.
Yeah.
Like if...
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Pretty close, yeah. He had great hair.
He did. He had gorgeous locks.
I was jealous of his locks for sure.
And
he was a handsome guy.
I didn't understand why so many people were British too. Like, I mean, they're British actors, but it was like Nola's British, and also Hal,
Reed.
and I guess they grew up in like similar parts of England or Britain. But you know what was like actually really interesting about this movie?
Not much.
Reading Oliver Reed's like Wikipedia and like how he died was like honestly far more interesting than this movie.
How'd he die?
He ended up like drinking himself to death. Basically, he was like a pretty famous alcoholic, I guess. Let me see if I can pull him up.
Another quick fact while you're looking for that: his last film role was in Gladiator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, he died in like 99.
Yep, he played the Antonius Proximo, the like trainer for the Gladiator, like arena or whatever.
I haven't seen that movie in a really long fucking time, but
I've seen it once. People like it.
Let's get into this.
So
sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, they're actually filming Gladiator. He had a heart attack, and according to witnesses, he drank 8 pints of German lager, a dozen shots of rum, half a bottle of whiskey, a few shots of Hennessy, in a drinking match against a group of sailors on shore leave from the HMS Cumberland at a local pub. His bar bill was almost $600, and he beat 5 Royal Navy sailors in arm wrestling, and then had a heart attack and died.
That's like kind of badass.
Yeah, in Malta,
they were in Malta.
Filming Gladiator. He was on a filming break, and so they had to like finish the movie without him.
I didn't know Gladiator was filmed in Malta.
Yeah,
that's wild. Yeah. Let's get into this this first kill because it's funny.
It's funny.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If this was a fucking graphic novel or a book, like if you're reading it, like you could have made that a lot more terrifying. Yeah, it wasn't not terrifying until it was like so hokey and like
it was goofy. A lot of the kills in this is goofy.
All the
little toy hammers.
The mallet kills were
also the part
funny.
where the father-in-law gets accosted and he's like going upstairs and the little monster demon kid like throws a cue ball like through a wall.
Yeah,
I cracked up.
But dude, like on that same token is like I feel like it was funny because of budget and maybe a little bit of presentation, but like we got a lot of on-screen bludgeoning. Now, yeah, they were like wooden mallets, but it was like 6-7 repeated, uninterrupted blows to the head on screen.
I mean, but it's like
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it was, but if it was a graphic novel,
barely hitting
if you would have read that, like when fucking Negan kills Glenn, you would have been like, that was fucked up.
It also would have shown a lot of blood and viscera and all that. Yeah, show me that.
I mean, it was pretty bloody, but this is the mother-in-law.
It's like that tempura fucking giallo blood, though, right? It was like that bright red.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and
mother-in-law.
and it was kind of
Tempura.
silly that
Tempura.
what that the
Tempura.
Tempura blood. Fry that blood. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm like, how dumb am
I
I?
bet you there's tempura blood cakes.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
How much blood would a blood chuck if a blood chuck could chuck
A
bload?
couple gallons at least.
At least.
at least a couple gallons.
I got a couple gallons on layaway.
Oh, woo-wee. What we talking about? Oh, why
Blood
was
cum-
it necessary
cum
that the
chuck?
brood like broke into the house and then just
It
like
wasn't.
destroyed her pantry? And there was like bottles of milk like breaking
And
and like
orange juice?
Okay.
and like a ton of shit. And she was like, "I must have not stacked the dishes correctly."
Oh, I'm real drunk, little
I was like-
granddaughter.
I was
You
like,
guys
that
didn't have
had to
grandparents like that?
be like
No.
pretty fucking loud.
Well, no, it's beyond that. It's like I actually like that shot of her coming in the kitchen where it's like you don't see what's moving on the counter and things getting
Yeah.
left off it. You think it might be an animal. I think it's all a misdirect because Cronenberg hasn't shown you like the monster yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like literally climb through the window, kicking shit off with anger.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. It was not good, but
It
I
wasn't.
liked it. I also didn't like it, but it was good. I don't know how I felt about
Okay.
it, but it was like a weird.
And then he just fucking jumps on her and like we said, like beats her, like
Beats the shit out of her,
repeatedly,
dude.
like
She's not really. I feel
Like-
Really?
I feel like they show like her getting like hit in the face a couple times and then that's it.
you see a couple
A
of
few,
decent
like 5.
blows. I mean,
Okay.
it is obvious that
It's an
Like,
elderly
she's
woman
not
getting
getting
beat to
hit
death with
hard.
like
She's
a
not that
fucking
old. She's
gold, like a
maybe in her
marble.
60s. Yeah.
Dog, go find a
Dog.
60-year-old woman on the street and fucking punch her. And like, see,
dare you.
Well, I gotta hit her with a meat tenderizing mallet.
Yeah, and somebody's gonna be like, Rob just punched an elderly woman, and you're gonna be like, she wasn't that old. Like, is that your fucking first line
Yeah,
of defense?
she's not elderly.
Yeah.
Sure,
don't know.
elderly might be a
I
stretch.
just, you know,
But if
She's
you're
a
fucking
grandma.
retired and like have
Grandchildren.
like, if you're just day drinking fucking wild turkey with your granddaughter all day, like
I mean, people do that in their 40s.
people do that in their 20s.
Their
Not
granddaughter?
granddaughters.
No.
Maybe not granddaughters.
But it was funny. And part of it was funny because I mean, like you said, it's the reveal of the thing, and it's like small.
Yeah, it's like a little monkey
It's-
thing.
It's
Reveal
which
that
is
small
like
thing.
funny.
Yeah, small things
And
are funny.
small things killing big things is funny.
It's dumb.
Like viruses.
Like that's like the
puppets.
appeal of like Chucky, which was like kind of supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
Because it's like a little
but I would
thing
say
killing big things.
towards the end of this though, it's like there is like the numbers, like which
Yeah.
you don't actually ever get in like Child's Play or like, and they're like
Children of the
bigger
Corn,
than
but they're not like monsters.
yeah, and they're like bigger than like Puppet Master, like
yeah,
puppets
they're like
and shit.
8-year-old
Yeah,
size.
but like, dude, fucking 7 to 12 rabid 8-year-olds trying to like spank your bare butt balls and back, like it would be difficult
they
to
seem to
deal
have
with.
varying levels of strength, and some very quite high.
Well, they're not real.
I know they're not real.
They're like weren't conceived. I don't know how to describe
They
them.
were unborn.
They were like, yeah, they weren't like actual children. They were like,
They're
doesn't have a navel.
like boils or pus. Okay, let's talk about that scene because we're talking about it right now already.
Which one?
Number one, they go into like a weird filter, like a purple
Oh, the
filter.
green
when they're-
autopsy?
when they're doing the autopsy. Number two, he is like so. The doctor, the coroner, is such matter of fact about like how he's deciphered this like clearly humanoid new creature, and everyone's pretty nonplussed about it.
and he's like wearing fucking clothes. Like
no
he's,
one
like-
ever wears like glass, like
No,
face
I'm saying
shield or,
the
like-
humanoid like child thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's wearing,
he's
like, a snowsuit.
Yeah, he's got like a fucking Oshkosh jumper
Yeah.
on, and he's like, yeah, this is a completely foreign feral fucking thing. He's like, this
There's
motherfucker
gotta-
was just at Kmart.
What I also love is it starts off with like it has a cleft palate, or not a cleft palate, a cleft lip, but not a cleft palate, and seems to be like have grayish skin. And then he says it has no genitals, of course, and also like a yolk-like like structure on its back between its shoulder blades. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Did you see any of the scenes?
of gas.
Yeah, you just ran out of gas.
Did you see any of the scenes later in the movie though, where they're all running around and they got
Yeah.
those jackets on, and there's like that
Big,
big
like,
sack? Like it was
up
hilarious to
around.
me. I actually liked that.
I mean, it was funny.
This was a jacket-heavy movie.
Well,
Well,
and
it's Canadian.
I think
You gotta
it
wear a
was
jacket. You gotta wear a jacket.
because
Yeah, wear a jacket.
it was Canada, and also to hide that they weren't actually children, the actors, right? The little
Say it.
brood people, dwarves.
Were they not children?
I don't think so.
I would be shocked if they were children. Actually,
I
Do you mean the actors playing
yeah,
them?
the actors playing the brood kids.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was not children.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
they were in some pretty
People.
violent scenes.
Yeah,
They were.
and like their acting was like fine for. I mean, they're like
monsters,
They
yeah.
don't,
They don't
have
speak,
dialogue
yeah.
and stuff.
It was better than Frank. So
It's better than Candy too, and I know it's like
Yeah.
kind of mean to like talk shit about
No.
child actors, but like there are some good ones, and she was not
She was
good.
horrible. You know
She was
what
really
was
bad.
like? It is super unfair because I'm gonna compare her directly to Heather O'Rourke from Poltergeist, just because like
Yeah.
blonde girl, same
They had to be
age.
similar age, yeah.
Yeah, and like
She
Poltergeist came out 3 years later, but dude, Heather
kills
O'Rourke
it.
fucking so good in all of those movies.
No, there's lots of good children acting in horror, and this was not one of them.
What about that fucking horrible kid in fucking Babadook?
he's a good actor.
Right.
But really fucking annoying.
Really
Ruined
good,
the
a
movie.
really good actor. I already kind of thought this movie was like kind of sexist after I watched it, just the way that things are portrayed. And then I found out it was like basically written about his divorce, and like the kid is named Cassandra, and like I think his daughter's name is like Cindy or something like that. Like there's some very direct parallels.
Candy in the movie. Candace.
Candace.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, all this stuff where it's like, oh, he's trying to be a good dad and just working and not doing anything wrong, and her emotions are literally coming to life and killing people and trying to kill her daughter and everything.
Yeah.
Just all of it was like, okay,
Yeah,
dude,
but there's
you
like
do
a
you.
whole other like side of that I was reading about how that's like that lens is almost like victim blaming in the sense that like the woman isn't evil in this movie.
I saw that.
And that it's like a reaction to the evil men because they're the ones who are like
who make you evil.
yeah, they're like
Yeah.
extorting her in the name of like the pursuit of science. Like they're like a mad scientist type of
Yeah,
thing.
she's
Like,
like, I
you
mean,
know,
she's like a
and-
prisoner
yes,
in
she's
a sense.
exactly.
I mean, she can't leave, and
Yeah.
she's not allowed to have visitors except for Candy.
yeah, and it's not her that's evil. It's just the manifestations of the tortures that have been put on her through men or by men.
I still don't agree with that. I still think it's sexist.
It's
but-
the psychoplasmic.
Yeah. No, I did see that thing. I couldn't remember what her name was, the feminist writer.
I mean, sure, Carrie Ricky, but I don't think that. I don't know if the movie's that fucking deep, and
It's
that
not.
might
It
be.
tries to be.
It might be like a subverted misogyny, just because fucking
I
men
think
are
Cronenberg was
misogynistic.
just kind of a piece of shit and wanted to make a movie about his shitty
I was about to
ex-wife.
say
and-
Cronenberg's a piece of shit,
Yeah.
right?
So,
I don't know. Is he?
I
He
after
is,
watching
right?
this movie, yes, I think so. But
I mean, that's like.
Oh wait, I'm kind of thinking.
like
I
a
might be
heavy
thinking
statement
of
there.
H.P. Lovecraft.
oh
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
piece of
H.P.
shit.
Lovecraft is
it's
a fucking piece of
okay,
shit.
yeah. My bad. If Cronenberg, if you're listening, you're not a piece. You used to be.
You might still
you
be
look
a
at
piece
this
of shit.
fucking
I don't
picture.
actually know you.
You think that's fucking Slickback?
That's his
pushback.
pushback. David Cronenberg, if you're listening, sorry, and also thank you for listening.
You know what I'll say about David Cronenberg? So far, my favorite movies that he's associated with have been his acting roles in Nightbreed and
was
Jason
so
X.
Good.
Like I like Nightbreed and Jason X both more than I like.
The Fly?
Yeah,
Really?
Jason X is fucking great.
Jason
I
X
mean,
was
it's
pretty
so
good.
much-
It is
fun.
great, but it's
They're
I don't
so
know. The Fly is, like,
they're really
pretty fucking good.
Fucking,
When you say pretty fucking good, you just mean like super fucking sexy
No,
Brando Fly?
like it's hilarious, and there's like.
Have you
gross-
seen Jason X?
Yes.
It's hilarious. It is 10 times funnier
I
than
don't know if
fucking The
it's
Fly.
10 times funnier.
I
It's
think-
very funny.
I think
it's also got
Jeff-
one of the best kills in all of horror.
Oh, the cryo head
Yes.
fucking smash. That shit is so
So
fucking cool.
good.
But what about the video game simulation double kill?
Oh, not even that. Just all the nanite stuff that he's got going on.
Oh my god.
Fuck, I love nanites.
but I think you.
Did you ever play Nanopets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was hot. Club Penguin?
that shit was hot.
No.
No.
Whatever.
What,
Yes?
what were we talking about?
Nanobots?
No,
Oh,
Nepotism.
The Fly. God, The Fly would have not been that good if it wasn't for Gina and Jeff, though.
okay. That's like most of the movie, though.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
There was, even though it was most of the movie, there was
like,
still a good
they care, like,
amount of
that's
struggle there.
The reason why it's good.
It's good.
If you put Gina and Jeff in this movie,
It would have been a better movie.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. The Fly still would have been better.
Oh
but
yeah,
how
sure,
much of
we
that?
agreed.
Yeah, but like
What if
that's
you swapped them?
No, Jeff Goldblum as Frank
I buy that.
would-
I buy that movie. I buy that for $1.
and Gina as Nola.
And Gina is Nola. Yeah, I would also watch
I don't know.
that
She's
movie.
kind of too pretty.
I mean, it's. I thought Nola was
Nola's
pretty.
like very modelly.
Yeah,
she
she's
was.
really
She was like pretty, but like kind of. She was like creepy pretty, as in like there could be evil within her. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like an eyebrow thing. What are we talking here?
I don't know.
she has
I
like an
feel
absent look too.
Okay.
Yeah, she kind of looks cold.
Okay.
Well, it is
and
Canada.
Gina Davis
We fucking
is
talk-
like
it is Canada.
adorable. You know what I mean? Like it's
Icy
wouldn't have
British
made
woman
sense.
versus like American
yeah,
hometown girl.
yeah.
Well, the budget for The Fly is also like fucking
Substantial.
400% more than this. And if you
Yeah.
put Chris Wallace effects in this movie, because like I said, like the concepts here were pretty fucking spot on. And like even that final scene where she's like unveiling her body, which is a whole nother like dysmorphia, fucking the traumas of like the female's perception. I don't want to speak for female, like if it just feels wrong, like I don't know, but like the whole idea that like you're ruining your body in the course of creating life, like the
Yeah.
damages you're physically gonna undergo through being pregnant and shit. And it's like the way they manifested that on screen with like some of the body horror shit, or like the dude who escaped from fucking
That shit was
Soma Free, the shit
that
on
shit
his
was
fucking
gross.
throat, like some of that shit that they put in. It was gross, but how much more gross would it have been if it was Chris Wallace? Like, you think about how gross The Fly is.
Yeah.
If The Fly looked like this movie and it didn't have Jeff and Gina,
It definitely would have been better.
you would have fucking hated it. You know what I mean?
If you like took out all the good things about The Fly, I would have hated that movie.
But half of that, but I would even argue most of what the good things are can only exist because of budget and reputation that a film like fucking The Brood helped establish for Cronenberg. That doesn't make it more entertaining just because it paved the way. But I'm saying is like, I would have been interested to see what this movie could have been if it was made 10 years later and it had a bigger budget and better acting and some better fucking visual effects, because I really do dig this fucking story.
I agree. I think this could have been as good as The Fly if it came out like afterwards
I
or
think so.
closer to. When did
Because-
The Fly come out?
86. This came out 79.
Okay, 7 years later. Yeah.
But this is also like his second film, maybe.
Really?
No, that's
You
not
guys
true.
Like
It's,
the ideas that much?
dude, I thought it was badass. These fucking
mean,
like
I mean,
brutish
this-
children attacking the sources of her trauma, like killing her mother and her fucking father and the fucking woman that she perceives her husband to be having an
dude,
affair
like,
on.
She was a smoke
Yeah,
show.
like I like most
was
of it.
really
Like
pretty.
the whole psychoplasmics thing was dumb. Like they could have easily just not had a name for it, and it just could have been like a weird psychiatrist
That's
doing.
so
some-
Cronenberg.
you know
Did you
what I
watch
mean?
fucking Scanners?
No, I haven't seen that. I want to.
I
though.
fucking turned it off, man, and I got to give it another shot.
Really?
Well,
Because it was boring or stupid.
I was
or-
trying to watch it on a plane, and then
Oh.
like I got to where I was going, and I couldn't get it, and then I tried to like revisit it, and like it didn't line up. But also, I failed to make it a priority because it was fucking not grabbing me, because it has this. You know, I watched like 45 minutes of it, and it was what I'm. Everybody talks about classic Cronenberg being like this body horror, and like there's a lot of. I mean, they do mention like misogyny and like sexual fucking themes and stuff like that in a lot of
Yeah.
his movies. But to me, it's mostly like uninteresting characters, pseudoscience, and a wild ass third act, and like
Yeah.
that's kind of what we got here. So like, yeah, I don't fucking care about the psychoplasmics and shit like that, but I do like, even if it was poorly executed, again, if it would have been a graphic novel, like the dynamic that they wanted to establish between Nola and Frank was fucking good. And that last act with the kids and then the doctor and the woodshed and then the confrontation between Frank and Nola and her like disfigured body, and I was like, damn, way to bring me back into this movie, because I actually liked this movie. But I
The
would say
ending
that
was solid.
viewing it, if it was 92 minutes, I spent 70 minutes not liking this movie. The ending was solid. I disliked it more than I liked it in terms of view time, but like at the end of it, I was like, "Fuck!" Not for a while, but I want to rewatch that.
Yeah, for me the second act was the most
Struggle.
boring and the worst, which was pretty much like him trying to get custody of Candy because she's like being harmed by Nola during her visitations.
Talking
you
to the
call him
urge-
up and you be a real mensch to him.
And and then that fucking out of color line, off color, and like that's all that was just him trying to get custody and like wanting to sue the doctor and meeting with I don't remember their names, but there was that one
Hogarth.
guy. How funny was that when he walks into the room?
He's
and
rolling
just
around.
rolling
He was
around?
great. I liked
He was
him.
good, yeah. And like you said, Michael, I think his name
Mike,
was. Like he
yeah.
was good too. And like that
Won't
body
you be
horror
my
stuff
daddy?
is gross. I kind of wish there was like a little bit more of it. Like he shows him that thing on the neck, but it's like give
The
me more
sarcoma.
of that, and
That
like
was
give me
great.
like some pus coming out of there and
Yeah,
shit.
but I think it probably actually didn't look that good,
It
which is
didn't.
why
They
it
just showed it
wasn't
briefly
on
and, like,
screen
yeah.
very much.
yeah,
It's
that's
like another
fair.
one of those things. Like you hand this to Academy Award winning Chris Wallace, the special effects team, and again, just like with The Fly, when the movie
It's way
ends and you go to
nastier.
roll credits, that's going to be the first name that pops up because I don't give a fuck about Oliver Reed or Samantha Agar or Hindle, but like. You know, it's like that Rick Baker, Tom Savini effect. It's like you put that name on the marquee, and I'm gonna be I don't know. I mean, that's us. We're like horror fans. We like '80s practical effects shit. So like, I get maybe not everybody recognizes those names and nerds out the way we do, but it's like I really do like the ideas, and it could have been so much better with more neck sarcoma and more. Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
kids at the end of this movie, how many kids got shot in the fucking face?
Like
Like
2.
4 or 5. No, it was more than that. It was like 4 or 5 probably.
Yeah. How
And
many?
they overtook him and they fucked him up.
Dude.
Yeah.
There was
You're-
like 4 or 5 of them like clinging to him.
Bloody.
And I did like, and I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but
They're not kids.
and I mean we're whatever, we've been jumping around the whole time, but like the end when he's like, okay, you have to be nice to Noah because her emotions
That was
control
good.
the emotions of the brood, and he's like, so you keep her calm and I'll go get Candy. Was there for you? Because for me, I was like, I mean, this guy's obviously like a piece of shit. Like, I didn't know if he was actually gonna help, or like what he was saying was true. Like, I thought maybe he could have been setting up a way to get him killed. Did you
Yeah,
think
like
of
he
that
just
as a
pulled a
possibility?
fucking gun on him like 5 minutes before that.
Yeah, so I was like, I was like, damn. I was like, I wonder what he's gonna do, because I honestly didn't think he was gonna help.
Yeah, no.
And the fact that he's like the antagonist, and that he kind of dies trying to, do the right thing, kind of.
Kind of.
I mean, it's a situation that he created.
There's. Yeah, man.
But I thought that was interesting.
I also too like. I feel like most of this movie until that it's actually exactly until that scene, you're like, oh, he's like controlling all of this and like
Yeah.
he's controlling her, and he is to some extent. And I don't know. I didn't actually like it because it's like, oh, he just wants to like develop the science, and like he only cares about progress or like his name being famous for like psychoplasmics, and like that's all well and good and everything, but
And like, what even is this science good for in any?
apparently having
situation.
a lot of people murdered, I guess.
Because all he did was make a woman have like an outside fucking sac that produces cumless kids.
Cumless little demon kids that
Or
like
the kids didn't have. The kids don't. What do you mean?
They didn't have sexual organs or
Oh,
navels.
and they didn't like come from.
They didn't come from cum.
Yeah, that makes sense because they're like manifestations of the mind and like
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I wanted this movie to be instead? A
That
different
makes
movie.
a lot of
A
sense.
different movie.
But no, I thought, especially when they go to the compound, I thought it was going to turn out that like, I don't know, he's injecting these patients with like weird chemicals that are making them like grow growths on their bodies, or that it was something maybe supernatural.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he just talks to them. That's what he does. It's just like normal therapy, but they develop like weird growths.
Did you like when the newspaper picks up on the kid, and he's like, "Oh, all right, we got to kick all 27 patients out. Just let them loose.
Yeah, immediately.
Get them on the bus. Get them out of
You
here."
gotta go. Not only that, after the murders, like the second murder with the dad dies, there's a scene where they're in like Frank's house, and he has a newspaper in front, and the headline says, "Cops looking for dwarf killers."
Yeah, that was fucking stupid. That's funny.
He also did not really seem to care about that other death as well.
Didn't really care about any of the deaths, and I know that like that's somewhat true, and also this movie came out like in like 79, right? 78, 79.
79, yeah.
He's talking to his lawyer about like suing the psychologist, and he gives that off-color line where it's like, be a real bitch to him. He's like, "Oh, he's an MD. Well, the state always sides with the mother," and it's like, dude, she's like covered in bruises and bite marks, and like, and also the mom's in like a weird like new age retreat, and she has to go visit. Like, how is that not evidence?
Yeah, that seems
you
like
need
a
custody.
that
Like
seems
that's
like
the
a
one thing.
Yeah, that seems like an open and shut case,
It's
in
like
my opinion.
crazy. Yeah, and it's like, well, you can't do anything really.
Oh, yeah, even that guy was like, "Oh, I know I'm not gonna win, but at least
It creates a narrative."
What's the tagline?
Psychoplasmas cause
cancer.
can cause cancer.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
California of him.
You know, I just want to, like, we're jumping all over the place with this one, but another part that I really liked, and I'm surprised you haven't brought this up, because this was something, along with, like, shooting the kids and shit, I was like, oh, Bill probably doesn't love this movie, but I know he loves.
I probably have a note on it.
You definitely do. You definitely do, because it's
What is it?
It's the end where she fucking pushes out the fetus and starts like,
Oh, when she starts fucking licking it?
and, like,
Oh,
chewing
fuck yeah.
on it and shit.
That was her idea.
Yeah.
Eggers.
Yep. Eggers.
Egg.
Um,
Yes, I did like that.
I loved it.
I forgot about that, actually. And I definitely do have a note about that.
When she's covered in blood, which you know how we feel about that.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's like so much hotter.
Like she's wearing like a white robe.
Oh yeah, she even bites into the sack and pulls it out and just starts licking it.
Dude,
Yeah,
that shit's so badass. God,
yeah, I
love
definitely
that.
have a note on that. That was fun. Did you guys think that the cops thought that Candy killed her mother-in-law?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Would that have been
Her grandma.
better or worse
Better.
for the film if she actually did, or I mean, like, if
You're asking a couple of questions.
if Candy, obviously Candy didn't do it,
Right.
but like if they sincerely thought they did, and like that was a side plot, would that have been made some of these boring parts more interesting, maybe, or no?
I don't think so.
Because they
I don't know if we
they
needed
made
more
it think
side
that
plot.
because they were like, you can't see Candy yet, like
She's
we have to
talking to a
talk to you, and I was
psychologist,
like, oh shit, like they think that Candy did it.
6-year-old.
I mean,
killed.
she has to be the primary suspect initially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
because they talk
accident,
about how
whatever.
she was just like asleep,
Yeah, and hard to
and-
wake
and
up
calm.
and all that, yeah.
Like about the whole thing,
No,
just like
I-
Frank. She gets that from Frank, not really caring about
emotionless.
death.
No, I agree. I don't need more side plots. In fact, I need like less of the custody battle and like more weird cult shit and I don't know, more body
Oh.
horror, which again, budget.
And another thing that I liked, and I'm sure you liked, and I'm sure it will be brought up, and it is right now.
riveting.
Also, love a fucking teacher getting brutally killed in front of a bunch of children.
Dude.
All those the one smart kid who's like, I gotta tell an adult. Oh, I gotta run out. They're
Yeah,
beating her
one
up, the
run.
bad
Yeah,
kids,
only
the bad
run.
kids.
Runs.
Yeah, that was his lines were bad, but
It's like, are you 2 or are you 8?
but didn't you feel like these brood children, they were kind of the inspiration for Ari Aster and Midsummer, like the Stupa, right? Like they're carrying around these huge mallets and just crushing.
I'm not sure about that.
Well,
how huge are these mallets?
I'll talk. Well, relative to their
If
size,
those kids had the same mallet from Midsummer,
And they literally using toy mallets on the teacher from the classroom. Also, what school is she going to? That's got like a sunken floor, 2-level kindergarten.
That's where you question the school.
I'm just
It's like,
curious.
oh, you walk downstairs to learn? Like that's just
It's
such a foreign
huge-
fucking concept
it was
to
a
you.
large
Like,
classroom.
that's how schools are in Canada. You got to go down the stairs.
Oh yeah, did your girlfriend go to a Canadian school?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. She was well dressed too. She had like a kind of a cool, I don't know.
The
aesthetic.
teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was hot
They
in
call
like
that
a weird
like
way.
a je ne sais
Boho.
quoi.
She kind of had like that.
No?
Boho?
I don't really know like what that haircut is called, but it's like
Padawan.
very hard to pull off.
She had that Padawan haircut.
Kind of.
Kind of.
It was kind of like she does look a bit like Ewan
Hayden
McGregor.
Christensen? Oh.
No, she's more of an Ewan.
Ewan.
Is that Ewan? Hey, Ewan, if you're listening.
You can
Can teacher
always
come
come back
over
over.
for dinner?
That was smooth. That was a smooth move by Candy. Well, only if she wants to. And then
And then he gets that drunken phone call.
he gets a drunken phone call and is like 45 minutes. Like, okay, it's not going to be that. But also, looked like he cooked like a full course meal and they're drinking like nice cognac.
He's trying to impress.
And then
He's
No
like
less.
what does she
he's
say?
like managing several architecture projects. Like
Yeah.
like at
and
least
he's like a single dad.
yeah, and, yeah.
He's got money.
He's trying
And
to
a nice toggle coat.
he's trying to soak something. If you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. What does she say to him? Sorry, your life's too complicated right now. Sorry, your mother and father are both murdered.
I don't know why she would care. He didn't.
He didn't. No, she did not like getting phone calls from his wife, though.
I mean, his wife was quite rude,
She was
Oh,
very
yeah, I
rude.
forgot
the phone
about
etiquette
that.
was not nice.
but I mean, yeah. Then that vitriol turned into a manifestation in the physical world and murdered her in front of her fucking classroom. So that was cool. That was cool. I like that.
I
That's
like
cool.
that
I
too.
like the
Yeah.
look on the kids' faces in the classroom. That was good.
They were better. Those kids were better actors than
Most of
Candy.
the adults.
And I know that just from that 30-second scene of them. I mean, they reacted
Like it was
like
the first
yeah,
time.
like it seemed like a
What if they actually
good
murdered
reaction
somebody to get that reaction out of those kids?
What if they actually murdered
I
somebody,
don't
but it was
think-
with those mallets, and it was like a
Took hours.
12-hour shoot.
Would you rather watch that 12 hours of a real person just getting beat to death by a toy
By
mallet?
toy mallets?
I would
For
not.
12 hours?
It sounds not fun.
Is there like a highlight compilation on YouTube?
Like maybe a 30-second clip
Or
On
do-
YouTube, yeah, of just people
of a
dying.
snuff, of toy mallet snuff.
Toy mallet snuff. That's hot.
Someone
Punk
Google
band.
that. Can we Google that?
You just won't. Yeah, it's already been Googled. There's some of my
Toy mallet
favorites.
snuff.
Let's see what happens.
This is why we need a video. So
Yeah,
we can
why?
watch Michael Google toy mallet
That
snuff.
is hot.
Whoa.
Let me see.
A lot of
There's
hits.
nothing. No, there's
Oh.
nothing.
I would-
Toy mallet on Amazon.
All right, Blood Dick 28.
Are you keeping
Toy
track?
mallet snuff.
Toy mallet snuff.
What is blood dick?
Have we
It's
not
our-
talked about this on the pod?
I think we might have mentioned it.
It's a,
Maybe one
a
of the last
movie.
episodes.
It's a series of shorts that. All right, that's
Is it a movie or a
pre-
series of shorts?
That's pre-production.
There's 28 shorts that are in pre-production
I'm
right now.
producing some pre right now, just hearing this.
If anybody listening has a lot of money and they want to see
And
No scruples.
Yeah, few scruples.
and they want to see some fucked up movies made by three people that have no idea how to make a movie, holler.
We've watched a lot of them though.
Because we have a lot of good ideas.
I'll put
Lot.
Mary and Dora to shame.
Oh
like
my
that.
god, we could.
My shit's gonna be
We'll
at
kill
least
2
eighth as
cows.
long.
Gonna use real poop.
Yeah, he does.
I think they use real poop.
I'm almost positive that's real poop. If it's not real poop, it was
something
something in his butt that he pooped out.
They put fake poop up his butt and
Well,
it
that's what they
pooped it
do
out.
for like Two Girls One Cup, which is actually just like a
fake poop.
well,
It's a
like-
trailer, right?
Yeah, for a movie called a production called Hungry Bitches. That's real. That's not a joke.
I knew it was like
Google-
a trailer for
Google
something.
hungry bitches
Or
don't.
Don't.
But like it's like a 9.5 hour Argentinian scat film.
It's
Whoa.
9.5 hours.
Dude, it's insane. And the guy who like makes these is world renowned. He's like worked with like Jenna Jameson and like
Think how
fucking
full you
Alexis
would be
Texas.
after eating
should we
shit
do
for 9 hours.
Should we do a pod on that?
You guys can.
Oh, what are you into?
Not eating shit.
You don't have to eat shit. You just have to watch the movie.
Sounds like
fucking
watch
weirdo.
that movie.
And I'm
like
pretty
eating
sure
shit.
it's just like fucking chocolate dyed Crisco. That's what I'm saying. Is like it's not
real.
poop. They put
Yeah.
poop like things up their butt and shit
Do you
them
wanna
out.
see someone eat a bunch of Crisco? No, I don't want to watch that either.
But
It's
I'm telling you,
gross.
Dora used poop.
Yeah,
Used
that's
poop.
like he made it himself. No, it's
Fresh.
Dora, if you're listening, quit making movies. Seriously,
Please.
God, your shit is so bad, and why do we
Just
keep
make shit.
watching them?
But
yeah,
still-
just make shit. That's what you're doing in the studio anyway.
But still, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
But your movies are boring as fuck.
Oh my God, why are they so long with such bad sound? Like, you're not artistic. And I'm not even, like, trying to be a dick. We should move on, but fuck, I hate those movies. Mary and Dora, you're so
All right.
bad.
Back to the film. Where were we?
We were talking about Mary and
Well, I
Dora.
mean, we've been all over
Oh.
the place, but
Yeah.
is there anything else
Not
you guys
really.
want to mention? I mean, what was like the
Mention?
like the ending? Oh, they just like fucking leave, right?
Yeah, they just, like, walk away.
No.
Yeah, they
you know,
just
the
get in a
little-
car and leave.
No, you guys didn't catch the little bit.
Oh,
of the
and then they zoom in.
Oh, yeah,
on
she has,
Candy.
like,
Candy has two
sarcoma
of the
shit.
sores.
Wheels.
So she's gonna, I don't know, end up like,
She's going to end up producing sack children.
yeah, she's gonna be like Nola, I guess. So, maybe there'll be a, what was this movie called? The Brood 2. Two Broods.
The brooding.
2 broods, 1 cup.
Maybe we could make that The Brood 2,
Yeah.
and it's Candy all grown up.
We call it Broodmare. She could be the mayor of the town.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. She could be the mayor. She should be like a filly, though.
She could be
wouldn't
a mayor, yeah.
She'd be a Philly.
Mayor
She'd be
Candy.
a mayor in Philly. The mayor of Philly.
She's the mayor of, okay, this is good.
It's just that's confusing.
Right. And, like, wrong, right? Like, anatomically, that doesn't work. Or does it? I don't
Does
like
it?
horses.
I mean, mares are female horses.
Right.
Phillies
So,
are
like, a
female horse.
mare in Philly. I mean, with the hoof, does that work?
Yeah, with the hoof, it definitely works.
Oh, she ends up being a horse? That's
Yeah,
a
she
twist?
starts growing hooves.
That's a movie.
She's. I
Well,
think
some-
she.
Pro-
Probably a fetish.
Throw some
Oh,
alligators in
fucking
there.
pony play. Have we talked about pony play?
Transformation play.
We don't need to talk about pony play. Well, we could talk about pony play.
We could.
Well, we don't need to. But we could.
We could.
We don't need to.
We don't need to, though. So anyway, I got this new bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's hurting
good.
my teeth.
I got a fucking crop and saddle.
Ooh. Crop me and pop me.
Oh my God, that is so hot to me.
Should we get the ratings?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I'll go first. Yeah, I mean, like we said, seems to have the same pacing as other Cronenberg shit, which is like 2 boring acts and then a bunch of shit.
Crazy
like, good
third
shit.
act.
Just
like The Fly.
And then this craziness. But I mean, I agree with Michael that I like most of the stuff here, and if they had more money and better effects and better actors, like this could have been up there with The Fly. I mean, it's, all hypothetical, but that definitely hurt this film. Fuck yeah, the acting was pretty bad. There was some good kills. There was some goofy kills though. But I mean, the teacher getting killed in front of the classroom was great. And we do love bludgeoning kills, even though the effects were just not there. Like you could.
All you were
it
missing was the
like-
squeak toy noise.
Yeah, you
And the
could tell
brood
they were,
kids were shot in the fucking face. That was good.
Yeah.
You got kids capped.
Yeah. We got the bad man died, which is fun. He got mauled to death by his own. Well, it's not his own creation, but same shit. And we get what appears to be a happy ending, but not really, because it seems like Candy's infected or whatever
Generational
you call that. So like that's cool to know that her life is ruined.
Yep.
It's great to know that this child's life is ruined.
It's just gonna be
in
responsible
movies.
for murder.
In movies.
I'll give this a 58. No. Yeah, 58. I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone unless they were like, hey, I'm really into horror, but it's got to be boring and have dead kids. And I'll be
Your
like, okay.
sister.
Yeah, I got a lot.
I'm sure Dead Kids is one of her 50 no-nos.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, what about you, Robbie?
I didn't like this movie. I thought it was like pretty boring, and
Yeah.
I thought that I think I liked about it the unintentional comedy.
Yeah.
And like the last 15 minutes,
And the
which
jackets.
are great, and the jackets.
jackets.
Which I'm a jacket man.
Jacket in
jacket,
San
man.
Diego. Jacket.
It just doesn't make up for it, and like I won't watch this movie again. I'm not gonna recommend this movie to anybody.
Yeah, I'm not watching this.
If you've seen all of other Cronenberg stuff, I guess watch this movie. Maybe. I also thought this movie was like kind of sexist, and it seemed like a hit piece on his wife. And like I don't know their situation. I don't care to. So whatever. Maybe it's not. Maybe she actually did like bring emotional rage into the like material plane, and yeah, maybe that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just not very good. I kind of felt like I was watching The Fog when I was like, oh, great director, like cool movies I've seen. This should be good. It's just like an older one that they've done, or I guess or one of their first movies, and it's kind of a mess. So I don't know, 45,
Oof.
48, because like 50 is like okay, I'd probably watch this movie.
You'd
And-
rewatch a 50?
Yeah, I mean, like not like right away, but like I would consider rewatching that film. This I'm not gonna.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I feel like I would need to rate something like at least a 70
Well, as
for it to have any kind of rewatch value.
Elmer's, if you don't know already, our scales are wildly different. I change mine frequently,
That's
and
true.
there's really not a good like
That's true.
conversion.
A 50 from you is like a 70 for
I'm
me.
honestly
So
thinking about changing it to like a 5 stars, scale.
I like the scale that you did the other day. You gave something a 3 out of 8.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think.
good one.
3/8.
8's a good number.
Why is that?
It's just round.
Oh, on the top
It's a
and the
good
bottom.
looking. It's arguably the sexiest looking
Oh,
number.
I don't think so.
What do you think? 1?
4.
12 looks pretty good if it's in the right place.
I figured just be just like a shit ton of 1s because they all look like little wiener.
Oh, binary's so hot to me.
Yeah,
I love binary.
Wieners and holes.
Little wieners, man. Is that what you're making for dinner next week? Wieners and
Wieners and
holes?
holes.
Just fucking little smokies and donut holes?
Donut holes? Yeah, and the little smokies will be in the donut holes. You pop
I thought
up,
you were going
like-
to glaze the little smokies and then put barbecue sauce on the donut holes.
Well, I mean that's like a traditional like Super Bowl food. It's called weenies by numbers.
I thought that was a game you played at like a key
It's a
party.
game that I play.
Fuck yeah.
Which rookie numbers? You gotta pump those numbers up.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, I got a roommate who's on the way going to take care of that.
You'll learn. Yeah, we finally have our own studio.
We finally got a 13th and Elm studio.
Send us your empty egg cartons to.
I think Miguel
90210.
has enough of those.
That's probably
Did you look at the
true.
egg cartons on the top over there?
Oh Lord,
Egg.
we are eggy
Oh,
boys.
Egg me, beg me.
and I know we're pretty much already done with the movie, but I did forget because you were, you brought up like the sexist things, and to be honest, I was like, I didn't really get that, but I totally forgot. Like during that demonstration, he was like, "You sound like a little girl. Like, aren't you a man? Like,
Oh, yeah, that
am
was
I
fucked up.
am I talking to a
Michelle.
male little
Michelle.
girl?
Man, I
Like, and
wouldn't
it's
be
Michael. Now it's
embarrassed about you.
Michelle. I totally forgot about all that. So
Sexy
that was
play.
definitely sexist
Yeah,
therapy.
but he was also like portraying an abusive
That's true.
Like
He was
it wasn't.
playing-
He wasn't saying that as much as
Yeah.
he said it with his voice.
He said it was- as much as he didn't have like actual quotes from his father.
Yeah, he was.
He was assuming what.
A lot. He assumed a lot about people's parents.
He was cosplaying.
He's got psychoplasma,
He does have psychoplasma.
so like he probably reads brain.
I loved Mike being like, please be my daddy. I'll tell you anything. Just please be my daddy. My own dad won't be my daddy anymore, and now Dr. Hal won't be my daddy, and he's the best. He's even better than real daddy.
Yes, Frank
If
could
I
be
had
his
a
daddy
nickel-
too. I think he just needs a daddy,
He needs a daddy,
and I'd give him one too.
don't we all?
Yeah, I'll rate the movie.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But we've already said it all, and I'll just tell you a number. I liked it more than most, 68.
Okay,
I didn't love it, but
this is a 30-point
like-
spread.
I probably also am I've
68.
caught it at no, it's a 20-point spread.
What'd you score it?
58,
58.
and you gave it a 48.
Yeah,
So that's
and
20
your
Damn,
60
we're
is
all over
20
the place.
points, yeah.
That's a surprisingly high rating from you. Being
That
that
you
like
hated most of this
15
movie.
minutes, you said I hated 70 minutes of this movie and like
Dude, but
20.
the end was like, honestly, man, maybe it's just like timing. The movie at the end, I was like, oh fuck, dude, that was like pretty good. Now the second watch will be really telling, and it's gonna be a long time before I do that again. But like knowing what I know, or like finding it out at the end, made me go, oh. All that stuff that was boring, I probably would like it more. But then the second time I watch it, I'm like, no, this is boring
This is
as
so
shit.
boring.
It's gonna be a fucking 50. But right
Yeah.
now, I'm still like, it's like send the audience home happy. You know what I mean? And like I left happier. The happiest I was during this movie was at the end, not because it was over, but because that was the best part of the movie. And so I probably am grading it a little more fondly. Yeah, because if I had to give it a mean score off of what I experienced, it wouldn't be that high. But like at the
Yeah.
end, I was like, not happy ending, fucking cool dynamic, body horror, fetus licking, fucking main characters dying, confrontation, good story summary. That was better than 80% of the movie. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If I said 62, I wouldn't feel any different about it because the numbers are all made up and
Points don't
The
matter.
points don't matter.
Exactly.
Don't go to bed angry after a movie.
Don't go to bed angry. Don't go to bed hungry
Don't go to bed hungry.
Or hangry.
I go to bed
or
horny.
That's every night.
you go to bed horny every night.
Yeah.
What's the last movie that you were actually like angered at the end of it that you spent because you spent your time watching it?
Maybe Titan.
I wasn't like angry about that.
Yeah,
More
I
like
definitely didn't like that movie,
disappointed,
but
because I didn't know what
Yeah,
I
I'm
was getting into. I don't know.
We don't
That's
have to
hard
We
to
didn't
say.
get to the end
this.
of Beyond the Black Rainbow, but that would have been it.
yeah.
oh
That was
fuck!
pretty-
I guess
oh,
that
we
most
never-
recently.
We never turn off
Amusement
movies.
Park.
Oh well, that
Yeah, I was trying to think
Fried
of
Berry
like
Amusement
order.
Park.
Fried Berry was way better than Amusement Park.
God, that's
I
like
mean,
not
yeah,
saying
but that's
anything.
comparing
Yeah.
shit to poop.
Yeah.
So Rob, what vampire flick we watching this week?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you have a pick?
Doing that? I mean, I do have a movie picked. I kind of.
Is it a
forgot.
vampire movie?
Are we?
That's the kind of.
Oh,
watching a
wait.
movie next week?
That's why I was
Okay,
like,
my
I didn't
bad,
think
my
we were
bad.
doing that, but
This-
I mean, I'll
cut
tell you
this-
what movie it is if you
I'll
want.
cut this out. Wait, we're watching. Never mind.
Joe.
But
TLDI.
we're still watching a movie 2 or 3 movies.
No.
We can watch.
Oh,
it.
we're watching them during the week together. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we watching?
Really? Okay, go ahead. But yeah, we'll just cut all this out, or we won't.
Or we won't.
Or we
This will be
won't.
the intro.
This will be the fucking. This is behind a paywall.
This is behind the paywall. Thanks for your liras.
All right, we're watching a movie, but we're not doing a pod on it.
Sure. I felt like I had a lot of like strikeouts lately, like movies that I'd picked. The last two, I was not even a
So
fan
now
of
we're doing
myself.
Breaking Dawn.
Breaking Dawn.
Yeah, Twilight 2
Oh.
or
Actually,
3.
totally
I
should.
don't know.
No. I was gonna pick American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
like not a bad pick.
I already know that we all like that movie, and it's got like a lot going for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, I was wondering like when you'd seen it last.
Not that long ago, but I'll watch it again.
I watched it in July last year.
Because I do
Okay.
really
like 4th of July. I watched it. I
I
think.
do really like this movie.
Mostly because I keep hearing the song on the radio.
Blue Moon.
Blue moon, blue moon,
No.
blue moon.
Werewolf in London.
Oh, Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you meant Blue Moon as well.
No, I mean like the actual song. But it was either
That one.
Please stop.
I thought you wanted me to see. You told me like more fucking kickboxing when we got on the mics tonight. You said I want you singing. I want you kickboxing.
You're right. I did say that. It was either that or The Omen because I hadn't seen that in
The
years.
Omen is so good.
Yeah.
Let's just do a double feature and then we'll take the weeks. We're taking 10 weeks off the pod. Let's let the Elmers know. It
Yeah,
might be
if
like
you
10
made it
weeks.
this far in
Yeah.
this
Which-
episode.
Hi, Kaya.
She has to be if she made it this far.
Yeah, sorry, we're taking a break.
We need it for our mental health.
We do. We do. We do.
It's a hard job servicing all fucking 10 of you.
And what is it going to be? 10 weeks?
Probably at least 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
So yeah, sorry to you 3
Yeah.
people that are hearing this, but
Fuck you.
We'll be back.
hey,
Not all of you. At least 2
Oh,
of you,
okay.
though. At least
Yeah.
2 of the 3.
yeah, fucking Andrew.
Oh, let's talk about your mom.
Dude, how is your mom?
I?
Let's talk about it off air, because I got a lot of things that I've been meaning to tell that woman.
Yeah.
All right, where are we
And with
going?
that-
Let's wrap it up. Thank you.
Yeah. Pull up with us, watch 2 films.